Justin, I'd like to officially welcome you to the podcast and thank you for finally agreeing to share your story.
It's
I
been,
appreciate it.
a year that I've waited to get on this podcast.
Yeah.
Every week I would see
Well,
you recording it, and I would say, "When do I get to be on?" And I'm thankful to the multiple people that canceled this week. So I was able to join last minute and, welcome you into my basement where I live underground by myself in
yeah.
Michigan.
I mean, it's a little dark, and we'll just write down on a piece of paper if you need anyone to come and rescue you. Otherwise, we're just going to assume everything is fine.
Yeah, let's just roll on. Let's talk about profile. Let's talk about,
Well, you
the
know,
last year.
You know what's interesting is that I've known you for years. You and I are the best of friends. Yet I really know nothing about what brought you to Profile, what got you through, like your path, your journey. I, as someone who knows you, know almost nothing about. In fact, these are my notes for your
On me?
episode.
Yeah.
This is a blank sheet of paper.
Yeah. Well, I remember when you started Profile and Nordo started Profile and a lot of people around here started Profile. I was very jealous because I know obviously a lot about the Sanford companies and corporation. It's a great company, obviously, right? A great organization. And I go, well, that's going to be good. Like whoever does that, if it's run well, like they're going to lose weight and they're going to keep it off, and it's just going to be good. And so I was very jealous of all of you. What was that? 2018, 2019, somewhere around there. And so last year when, I finally pulled the trigger, I was just fired up about it because the pandemic got me, to answer your question. The
Oh,
pandemic got me,
yeah,
and
as
I
it
say
got so many.
well, I tell people the pandemic, it's still going on, obviously, in some way or fashion, was so long that I lost 10 pounds, then gained like 40, and then lost 50 once I got on with Profile. So that's kind of what brought me to it was in mid pandemic, midstream, like December of 2020. Yeah, I said, all right, we got to do something about this. And all you guys had
Full
had
circle.
success with
Full circle.
Profile, so I got going with that.
Well, for people who are not familiar with you outside of the Minneapolis St. Paul Twin Cities area, I would just like to kind of establish who you are and your story, which is you work in radio.
Yep,
You're the producer of a major market drive time talk show, sports talk,
yep.
and you do play-by-play for Minnesota women's basketball on the radio.
hmm
Have you always been in radio? Did you have the odd jobs that kind of led you to radio? You living out your dream in radio?
Yeah, living out the dream for sure. No real odd jobs. I was lucky that the KFAN where I work went on the air. I was like 9 or 10 years old. And so my parents listened to it driving around. And so that's what I listened to as a kid, which makes the guy I work with feel old because I listened to him when I was a
Yeah.
kid, Dan Barrero. And so now I listen to him and Chad Hartman and everything. So I knew what I wanted to do when I was like 9 years old. And so my whole life basically just became how do I get to do that? And started as an intern in 2003 and I haven't left. So it is my dream 100%. I have no idea what I would be doing otherwise. And so that's I'm really lucky that way. So I really never had any odd jobs. I mean, I grew up in Edina, Minnesota, which means you either play tennis or hockey. I can't skate, so I played tennis. My oddest job was just I was a tennis pro at various like clubs, and
Mm.
that's what I did when I was 16, 17, 18, 19. When I was 21 years old, I started here. Gave this place the prime of my life, Marnie, the 20s, and now they're getting the whatever era this is, the 30s and almost 40s of my life. So that I really never had the odd jobs. I started as an intern and I have never left.
It is not very often you hear someone who knows what he wants to do at age 9
Yeah.
and then actually does it. That's impressive.
Well, it was I was lucky. I mean, it just and to have it work out at the station that I listened to, which now I think a lot of people like the fan wasn't very old. It's like a 30-year-old radio station. So at the time, whatever that math was, it was probably right at its infancy. So I'm probably the first generation of people that grew up
Sure.
listening to it that then got to turn it into something. So yeah, unbelievably lucky, unbelievably fortunate. And I do feel lucky, like you said, that I knew what I wanted to do. And so from 15 on, maybe that's all I thought about was how do I work in sports? Not even necessarily here. This worked out probably better than I even imagined, but just working in sports, radio, TV, journalism, whatever it was.
Now there's a whole generation of kids saying, I grew up listening to Justin Guard
Think
on
about it.
KFAN.
Think about that.
What the impact?
Those
Incredible.
poor children.
So, what happens a lot to people who work in radio specifically is that there's a lot of sitting.
Oh yeah.
It's a sedentary job. Your show that you work on is at its full length, 3.5 hours. That
Yep.
does not include prep time. You call a game on the radio, a basketball game, that's a couple of hours. So it can lead to a very sedentary lifestyle. And I'm guessing that may play into part of the reason you reached out and found Profile and jumped on the bandwagon that a few of your friends were already on.
Well, 100%. And when I first started here, and we can talk about this too, why I really like Profile the best is because like I've probably like a lot of people, I mean, what do they say? The yo-yo dieting, right? Where you
Yeah, up and
lose a
down.
bunch of weight, gain a bunch of weight. Like I've done that. Like I've done that. In 2003, when I started here, I probably in the first year and a half, I probably put on 50 pounds because of exactly what you said. You're not moving around a whole lot. You're not moving, and when you're making no money, you're eating everything that's coming your way in a press box, or if somebody brings in pizza for the staff, like you're eating all of it, you're taking
Yeah.
some home. And if you're working a Vikings game, you're taking everything and that's it. And so like this goes back, almost 20 years from, you know, being in shape, being out of shape, being in shape, being out of shape. And so, but yeah, if I don't, like, everybody now counts their steps, right? You have to count your steps and get
Hmm.
active. And Belinda, my profile coach, I think she wants me at about 8,500 a day, not the 10,000 that is kind of the benchmark. She says 8,500, you're fine with what you're eating and what you're doing. And if I don't get that by the time I get here, I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it from whatever time I start at the radio station to whatever time I leave. So I have to find a way to do that before, because once I'm here, sedentary is the word.
Yes.
It's not an active lifestyle when you're on the radio. So I have
And
to find a way to do it beforehand.
it's not just limited to radio people. I don't want to eliminate people listening to this podcast. It's a
Any desk
desk.
job.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a desk job where you sort of have to be conscious of getting up and briskly walking down the hallway a couple of times or working in these walks into your daily routine. If you have a job where you sit a lot or anything that ties you to a lot of sitting. Okay, so you had mentioned you gain some weight, you lose some weight, you've kind of been up and down, you kind of had to settle into this new professional lifestyle. So at what point did you, when you looked into Profile, were you like, okay, this is more than just a fad or a phase. This is like the new Justin Guard is going to make some real lifelong changes here.
Towards the end, so I started, we're taping this first week of January
Yes.
2022. I started January 2021. And I knew, like,
Mhm.
because I've done programs before, I knew that I would have no problem losing the weight. That was going to be the easy part. Like, I know what the plan was going to be. I know that because you have coaching, there's going to be accountability. And I told Belinda, I'm going to name drop the whole time. She's amazing, absolutely incredible. And that to me is the profile difference. Or the coaches are ridiculously good and invested in you and the whole 9 yards. And I told her, I said, I don't really need you for the first 4 months. Like, to lose this 50 pounds, which was what I wanted to lose. I said, I'm going to do that. Like, I'll be fine with that. However many weeks that takes. I think it took me like 10 or 12. Cause it was like late March, early April when I hit my goal, which is very fun. They celebrate that with you. You write your name on the wall,
Yeah, yeah.
take a picture, do the whole bit. I said, if it's going to take me 12 weeks, like, I'm going to need you at week 11 throughout. Like,
Mm,
that's when I'm going to need you, because I think people get the tendency to, with anything, you set a goal, you reach it. Okay, then you're done.
we're done.
Like, I did it. Now I'm gonna, I did it. It's great. Well, that's how you get in
Pizza.
trouble. Is you think it's over, and then you go back to the habits that you had. And what I liked about Profile is, first of all, Belinda listened to me there, and said, "Okay, well, I'm going to be on you then, and make sure that we have a good plan for you moving forward." As they bring you back into real life, for lack of a better term, right? When you're not following the
Yeah,
plan.
no, that's yeah, I get it. That's accurate.
So that's what has been great, is that I've kept the weight off longer than I ever have in my entire life. Like, from last April to where we are now in January, easily the longest. And it's because of really the aftercare of it. That's what, to me, has been, that's been the best part about it, is that it wasn't just,
Mm,
I did this, now it's done. Now in a year, I got to do it again. It's, I did this, but now I also know so much more about how to keep it going.
sure.
And that's what I liked about Profile was that the aftercare of it seemed a lot better than stuff I've done in the past or things I've done on my own in the past. And just to have that support afterward has been absolutely critical to where now I just that is hopefully for the rest of my
Mm.
life how I do things.
It's kind of incredible to hear someone say, "Well, I can lose the 50. That's not a problem." But what I think the important message is that everybody is different. Some people need the push to get started. Some people need the push at the halfway point. Some people need a hand holding through the entire weight loss. You were like, I got the weight loss part. So everybody's needs are so different. And if you have a good coach, which let's face it, they are good coaches at Profile. So you have a
Yeah.
Belinda who's like, got you. Okay, I'm there at week 11, 12 on.
Yeah.
Yes, they're meeting your needs and what you need to get to the point where you're healthy and happy.
Yeah. And when people ask about because whenever you lose weight, I'm sure this happened to you. People always go, "Can you just give me the plan? Like, just tell me what you're supposed to do. Tell me the foods that you're supposed to eat. Tell me how you're supposed." That's happened to me for 20 years when I've done various things. Like, it has nothing to do with the plan at all, because everybody knows how to eat healthy. We all know it, right? We all know the science
Yeah.
of it. It's you what you when you go to Profile, you know, you need the coaching. You need that's why we have coaches in a lot of things in life because they are the ones that are going to push you, guide you, direct you, show you the way to do it, and you're going to be accountable to them because you can say you're going to be accountable to yourself. I'm not. I'd like to be. I wish I was this, super motivated all the time, like changing my best every day to use the PJ Fleck phrase and just going, go, 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 and being the standard. I'm not like that. I need to know
Mm.
that every Monday or whatever it was, Monday at 10:30 is my appointment time. Like I'm going there, and if I've either done this or I haven't done it, and if I haven't done it, it's not like I'm going to get yelled at, but I'm going to have to explain, okay, what happened here, and
Right.
so that's why plans like Profile work is because of the accountability from another source. We could all Everybody knows how to lose weight. Everybody knows how to be healthy. It's not complicated. But the extra piece that Profile provides is the support of it and that accountability of it. And that's when people ask me, "Can you just tell me what you ate?" I say, "Sure, yeah." But you already know. You already know what I'm eating or what I'm doing or how many
Yeah.
carbs I'm having or
Yeah.
vegetables
I'm
or
going to tell you
protein.
it's chicken and broccoli, and you're
Yeah,
going, whoa,
it's
what?
chicken, broccoli, water, some great snacks, and that's it. But now go do that for 6 months on your own day after day. If
Get
we
back.
could all do that, we Profile would not be in business, but there would be no need for great coaches at Profile. We need that. I certainly did. So, and I needed it on the back end even more so than the front end.
You are a dad and you have 3 kids. I think their ages are 1, 2, and 3.
It feels like it.
No, but they are what, 3, 5, 7, 5,
You
7,
got it.
9?
Yeah,
3,
7,
5,
5,
7.
and 3. Yep.
So a lot of people when they have kids that are that age, which is the active age, which is the kind of running around after them age as a dad, how has that part of your life changed and improved with the weight loss and the health?
Yeah, that's really the other big reason I wanted to do it because through the pandemic, we're spending, and you know this too, you're spending a lot more time with your children than maybe I otherwise would have, right? Because we've been home so much more. And I noticed, like, well, dude, they really need a dad, like, not being active with them, like, not I mean, it's not like I was just laying on on a futon all day or, like, a beanbag chair and not having people, like, bring me full pizzas. It wasn't quite
Oh,
like
man.
that.
What a
Sounds
life, yeah.
amazing, right? Yeah, what a life. Maybe in 30 years. But it definitely factored in, like, I need to be around, like, when I'm around them, I wanna be active, I wanna have the energy to do it, I wanna have the athleticism to do it, like, I wanna be able to go do what they wanna do, whether it's sledding, whether it's, playing basketball, whatever it is, so it's a huge reason why I guess a year ago now, I said, let's hammer this out and make
Mm.
sure that I can do all that with them all day. Because yes, they're extremely active. Like there's no like there's no Netflix and chill with the 7, 5, and 3-year old. Like
I've seen him in action. I can attest.
yeah,
Yeah.
you saw them. Yeah, they're bouncing around a million miles an hour. They're typically fighting with each other. So I gotta have basically I have to have the strength to break them up most of the time and get them to their various rooms and sides of the house. So it's a huge part of it is to have the energy when I'm around because I am busy and there's a lot of times I'm not around when I'm around to make sure I have the energy and the ability to do
Mhm.
what they want to do. That's to me was a huge reason why I needed to lose the weight.
And that has improved then your quality of life. It's improved their quality of life for sure. Your wife's quality of life. The whole family is affected because dad got healthy. Way to go, JG.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if they agree with it. You can have them on the podcast next week. But yeah, it's been good. Yeah, and through the summer, like to be able to have hit my goal weight and then have the whole summer to go do whatever you want to do and all of that has been tremendous. So I'm really glad I did it.
And you had talked about when you joined, first week of January in 2021. We are recording this first week of January 2022, when there are a lot of people looking to hit the reset button or just kind of cleanse after all of the holiday parties, really from Thanksgiving through New Year's. It's just a constant. It's snacks and baked goods and celebrations and gatherings and get-togethers and parties.
Yep.
What was your motivation, the short window of time that was November through New Year's, or was it the buildup of years, or what gave you the push on in the first week of January 2021 that got you there in the first place?
Probably just the cliched New Year. I mean, probably the start of it, I would say. And knowing that if you do X, Y, and Z by summer, when you are going to want to be outside and do stuff, have more time, because just you do have, like with our job, at least you have more time in the summer, like to be ready to go for that. That was really probably why January made the most sense. And I think people, I was finding it funny when people were like, well, you could do a New Year's resolution any time of the year. You can start your new life whenever you want, which is true. But some people need the benchmark, and it's okay to need the benchmark. And I liked the fact that, January, I think it was 8th, I started. So I'm coming up on the anniversary, which is a weird thing to commemorate, but I am January 8th. My wedding is July 20th. I got to make sure I remember that too. I think it is a good time to start. There's a reason why so many people do it. And what I would recommend to people if they're thinking about jumping in is if you stick with it, especially early, because what do they say? New Year's resolutions, they flame out in 2 weeks, basically.
Yeah, something like that.
That's the average. Like, stick with it. Like, stick with it for, a month, and you'll see the difference almost immediately. And then that's what's cool about Profile is the change. You get the ball rolling so quickly that you see how quickly you can make the change, and then that just keeps you going to the finish line. And there's little checkpoints along the way, and they're all celebrated along the way. And so January just made sense in that regard, because I am a New Year's resolution guy. You do get the decompression from all our stuff at work, the holidays, everything. You can start fresh, and I'm fine with that.
Did you make New Year's resolutions this year after having gained your health and wellness resolution? They got that one checked off already.
Yeah, not really. No, not really. No, I probably should. Just you always do the cliched ones, like spend more time with the kids, be a better husband, like all the boring stuff.
Yeah, I think coworker, like
better coworker, better employee. Yeah, better supporter of Marnie and all her endeavors. Yeah, everything that goes along with that. Yeah, no, none this year, none that I can think of. Since
you are in a position of having success and maintain success, and I mean, a 1 year is, I mean, that's no joke. The statistics I got for you from reaching out to Profiles say inches lost.
Oh, wow. You got my numbers.
20.
Yeah.
0.4. This says 46 pounds down. You said 50.
Okay.
Which is, okay, we'll go ballpark. But that's 20 inches. I mean, think about 20 inches on your body just gone, and a weight change of 19.5%. So significant numbers, because you're not a tall guy. You're 5'10".
No. I think a good friend of mine once described herself as squatty. I think.
Interesting.
That
might have been you.
Squatty? Squatty. I think it was short and squatty. I remember from an original.
Love who you are. Love who you are.
Yeah. So squatty, I think, would describe me. Yeah. As a frustrated 5'9" point guard, in my high school basketball days, just trying to be 6'2" so I could be in the NBA. Yeah.
Y'all are.
Yeah. So 46.
My point 50. Being, that it's very noticeable when you're not of tall stature to lose 50 pounds and be down 20 inches. That it's significant when you're not 6'5".
Yes, exactly. There's no place for it to hide on me. That's what I would say. Yeah, because you'll get a guy who's like 6'5", and then he tells you what he weighs, and you're like, "How's that possible?" Like, well, I've got 6 feet 5 inches. I've got like 5'9" and 3/4. Like, we'll go that way. So and the coolest part is like the clothes, like being able to actually throw out the old clothes. which you're not supposed to do, right? Everybody tells you don't do that. And I'd never really done that until again, I'll say Belinda again. She goes, just do it. Just throw them out. And then you'll know. And all the new clothes all still fit. Everything that I wear for the Gophers and the sidelines and the fan and the TV stuff, like all that fits still, 6-7 months after it's been purchased, which to me is the
Yeah.
coolest part. And like my closet has been thinned out in more ways than one, which is cool.
And you're not going back to those old clothes. You don't need them.
No,
You don't need
no,
them.
that's the plan. That's the plan.
I want to leave you with what you can give to listeners and people who are thinking about this, and which a lot of people are as we hit a new year. What would your advice be to those who are just kind of playing around with it, thinking they might do it, might not, might look into it? What would you say to those people?
Well, two things. I kind of said one already. There's a reason why people have trouble on their own losing weight, exercising. I mean, with anything, saving money. Like, there's a reason we have advisors for almost everything in our life. Like, right? Financial advisors,
Yeah, they're
insurance
pros.
people.
Mhm.
There's a reason why you have experts. So lean on the experts. And for me, that's always been the case. Everybody, as long as we've known, like, I mean, I could tell you, work out more, eat less, eat healthier, you're going to be in good shape. Very, very simple. Harder to do in practice. And that to me is why the profile for me has been the biggest difference, is to have someone like you said that gets you, that understands you, that can talk through your goals. I mean, when you go to an appointment, for example, like mine have been 30 minutes. It's like every minute of that 30 is used, whether I want it to be or not.
Hmm.
Like sometimes I'm like, let's go, look at the numbers. I'm good. Let's move it on, get on to the next person. But like they want to know more. They want to learn more, what the challenges are, what's coming up that you're concerned about, what has tripped you up in the past. Like they're not just checking you off and moving on to the next one. They literally are investing in you. Like my coach basically, like I didn't even meet with her. She knew I was coming up on the goal weight and was basically like stalking me in my pro, like you did, and emailed me like the second that it registered that I had, because on the scales, right, it goes to them and it goes
Yes,
to the app. So they know.
they know.
And so 4 days before I was even supposed to meet with her, I'd already heard from her congratulate. So that's how invested she was in my success. Was
Awesome.
4 days before I'm even supposed to meet with her, she's already telling me great job. Like it was in her mind that he might be close. Like I think he's about to do this. So number one, like that's what profile is for the support along the way. And really, I mean, everybody there celebrates you as you go. And the other thing I would say is don't, if like, let's say 50 pounds, or because Marnie's a literalist, 46 pounds. Speaking of accountability, um, don't think of it as I need to lose 46 pounds. Like, don't, because if you think about it that way, like
It's overwhelming.
it's
Yeah.
daunting. I mean, it's very daunting. Like, and that's so, but think about like if you just follow the plan, follow the program, listen to your coach, hold yourself accountable, and then obviously have the help, like you're going to wake up and it's going to be 4 months later and you're going to have hit your goal. So that don't think about it as how far do I have to go. I mean, just literally think about going,
Mhm.
setting your goal, working the plan. And like I say, those first couple of weeks, you're going to see it work, and that's going to keep you going through, that's going to keep you going, and you're going to have help every step of the way. So, I mean, I ran into somebody down in Phoenix. I was there with the Gophers bowl game the other day, and they, off of all of our suggestions on KFAN about profile, did it and absolutely loved it. And they said, yeah, it's tough. It's tough to start. And if you think about the end, you are going to fail. If you're worried about, climbing the mountain on day one, like it doesn't work like that. It took a long time to get where we are. It took me a pandemic to get where I was weight wise, a lot of beer and a lot of pizza to get me where I was. So it will take a little bit of time, but not as much time as you would think. I mean, I started January 8th. By the end of April, I was there. I was good to go, and I haven't looked back since then. So
Mhm.
just make it manageable and think about the day. And that's where the app is cool, because you can track everything, and you can track your food, and you can track your water, and everything is right there for you. Everything you need to know is right there for you. Your coach is one call away. Like it's just, they make it something that's not easy to do. They make it as, I think, about as easy as possible to do.
Well, if this radio thing doesn't work out, I think you've got a profile coaching job in your future, the way that you have just glowingly spoken
Yeah,
about this wonderful
I
program.
believe in it. I believe in it, and it's a credit to the people that are there, that are working. And I know it's all over the country that way, that truthfully is the biggest. And trust me, I've told you the weight loss plan
Yeah.
program over the years, and it's not about the plan. To me, it's about the people that are behind it, and that's why Profile is different.
Well, you know what? When you said bowl game, it reminded me at the start of this interview when I was listing off your jobs and I forgot Gopher football radio analyst from the sideline as well. Did I leave off any jobs?
Yes, multiple jobs.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
that's okay.
But they're all very important.
Yeah, I'll send you a better bio next time for you to more updated.
Better than this?
Yeah, better than that.
This blank sheet? Okay.
Yeah, better than that.
Well, Justin, I really appreciate sharing your story. Loved hearing about your journey. Can't believe all the things I didn't know about you.
Yeah.
For as long as I've known you.
It's been a long time. Yeah.
You look great.
Thank you.
You sound great. And I wish you nothing but continued health and happiness.
We will always be squatty. You and me, short and squatty.
Short and squatties unite.
And sorry, I'm in a bunker. I've not been kidnapped, I promise.
Well, I didn't see any messages, so I did not need to run down the hallway and rescue you.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, good chat. See you down the road, my friend. Justin Guard from KFAN Radio and Golden Gophers radio broadcasts. Success story of losing, we'll just call it 50. We'll give him that. 50 pounds down and kept it off for a year now. Our guest today, Justin Guard. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for listening to the podcast. This is Profiles in Health and Wellness. We'll see you next time.